do y'all want us?
Right there.
You going?
Front and center. Hello?
Howdy. Y'all.
What can y'all tell us about what you're leaving with tonight?
It has been a very, very long day for us as well as the grand jury. After presenting all the evidence as it relates to the death of Sandra Bland, the grand jury did not return an indictment. The grand jury also considered things that occurred at the jail and did not return an indictment. There are other issues that the grand jury is still considering, and they will take up those issues when we return next month. As far as what happened today, the details, of course, those are all secret and we cannot discuss those. If you have any other questions besides what occurred today, we'll be happy to answer.
So are you saying, are they reconvening on the Sandra Bland case, or have they made a decision not to indict?
Just on those issues that I addressed. But of course, there are other issues that are still remaining that will be addressed when we return in January.
So there could be other indictments?
There could be indictments.
So maybe as of the evidence that you went through today, there's no indictments, but you still have more evidence where you can have...
The easiest way to explain it is what I stated earlier. Because I can't go into all the issues and what they didn't indict on and what they didn't indict on. I can just tell you, as far as those two issues, no indictments were returned.
You're talking about the death and the jail today, no indictments.
Correct.
And but you can't tell us what other issues they're pursuing. Correct.
No.
How long did they deliberate today after you presented evidence?
You know, as far as discussing what happened in detail, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I'll just tell you what I just told you as far as the issues they decided on.
You're going to meet again January when?
We haven't set a firm date, but it will be in January.
When does this grand jury's term expire?
They're going to be extended.
Typically it would be the end of the year, but they're being extended?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, so I just want to say this back again. There will be no charges against anybody at the jail, no charges against jail employees,
Correct.
and there will be no charges regarding her death.
Correct.
That leaves DPS, that leaves other possibilities on the table.
And everything else under the sun.
Okay.
So the arrest, Trooper and City, is he cleared?
Well, you have to remember what two issues they've addressed.
The arrest
The jail,
and the jail.
the jail and the death.
And they're continuing to deliberate in January.
So they have not resolved the arrest.
By process of elimination.
Go
Can't
ahead.
answer that question. Yeah, process elimination.
Yeah. Can you speak to the length of this? This will now be their fourth meeting coming up. Just the length of how long it's taking for you all to present evidence in this case, and how long it's taking for them to deliberate. What does that say?
It says that we're doing a thorough job. That's it. I mean, we're trying. This case is very big for the citizens of Waller County. It is even bigger for the family of Sandra Bland. And so this group of special prosecutors has put in very, very, very long hours. And now we are presenting the fruit of our labor to the grand jury. And the grand jury is committed to doing what's right, and we're committed to doing what's right no matter how long it takes.
Sandra Bland's family, you may have heard, had a press conference in Chicago today where they said they have serious doubts about the legitimacy of this grand jury. What would you say to them who feel that justice is not being carried out?
Well, I understand they're in a different situation because they're grieving the loss of a loved one. But I will also say the invitation is out to them. We're happy to speak with them. We've asked before to speak with them, and we'll ask again. We would love to speak with the family. I've never heard of any situation in all my years of a prosecutor not speaking to the victim's family. And so we are more than happy to speak to them. We have reached out to their lawyer. It was reported in the Chronicle some time ago by Cindy George, and she also spoke to their lawyer about why we haven't been able to speak to them. And I'm saying it again, we are more than happy to speak to the family. We want to speak to the family.
One of their concerns is that they haven't been questioned on this process.
They haven't.
We reached out to the family. We reached out to the family. I offered to fly to Chicago on my own dime to go meet with the family.
The evidence that is being presented to the jurors is only the evidence that the committee gathered or other evidence from other agencies.
I will say this. We have left no rock unturned. In the grand jury, anything that they've asked for, we've done our best to get it to them.
So what is the next step on this process? Are you you're gonna meet again in January, and then
we will return in January and continue the exact same process.
Have you finished presenting evidence on anything they could consider, and they're just deliberating at this point?
As far as what is taking place in that room, I'll stick to my original answer.
The very nature of not being able to talk about grand juries and what happens in that room is what her family is speaking about, and anybody who has questions about grand juries.
Well, that would be an issue to take over the Texas legislature.
Well, and we reached out to them before we met with the grand jury. It's not like we just all of a sudden try to make contact with them. We tried to make contact months ago.
We reached out to them.
August 25th.
Yes.
I went back and looked at my text messages. It was August 25th. And their lawyer has my cell phone number. He called me today on my cell phone, and he can call me anytime.
Well, what would you say about sort of the broader concerns about legitimacy of the process and of grand juries in general when they happen behind closed doors?
Well, unfortunately, that is an issue, again, is meant for our state legislature, for them to address. We in no way control the laws of the state of Texas, but we're duty-bound to operate under them. And so I'm sure we can all give you our different ideas on that, but I think that's a better question for some state senator or some state rep, some committee member, John Whitmire, somebody, to answer those questions.
for a trial to take place, there has to be an indictment, correct? Because it's been said that in January of 2017 a trial will start, but you need to have.
You mean the civil? The civil?
Yeah.
Maybe you're speaking of the civil trial.
Okay, the civil. Okay,
Yeah.
so no criminal trial, of course, without an indictment.
Correct.
Can you all pursue misdemeanor charges?
Yes.
Is that under consideration?
All charges are under consideration.
Is the jail subject to any more misdemeanor charges?
I'll stick to my first answer.
Gotta give you an A for effort.
The committee is conformed by 8 members, correct? There's only 5 here.
No. We're special prosecutors,
Okay.
and this is everybody.
Was the jury unanimous in the ruling and then deciding?
Go back to that first answer.
There was 12 on the jury, right?
I'll go back to that first answer.
Can you tell me how many members there are on the grand jury? Is it 12?
No, I'll stick to the first answer.
Typically, there's 12, sometimes 11, often it's 13.
Right.
It just depends. It just depends on where you are. Sometimes in different counties on who shows up.
Is this a typical grand jury?
He's a lawyer.
No, I'm just messing around.
To me, nothing stands out to make the grand jury extraordinary.
And look, this is a very serious process, and I'm not trying to be coy, but I'm trying to protect the process. And I don't want to stand out here where somebody is concerned with the loss of a loved one and mess it up, trying to give somebody, answer you all's questions. And so I'm just trying to maintain the integrity of the process, because as you can see, even while the process was going on, people were saying they were having faith and had no idea what we were doing. So I'm just trying to make sure we stay above board.
All right, can you say it spell your name for it, just so we got it?
Darrell, Darrell, Jordan, Jordan. To my left is Lewis White,
L-E-W.
Lew. To my right is Sean McDonald, S-A-U-N.
SHAWN.
Behind me is Phoebe Smith. Phoebe spelled
P-H-E-O-B-E.
behind me, we have Chad Dick, spelled as it sounds.
Sean McDonald.
Yes, sir. MC. Like the restaurant.
Can you just tell us anything about, you said that you're making sure that you do this correctly, but do you feel pressure from the number of people that are watching this?
No. As lawyers, we are duty bound by the ethics rules and just the regular oath of being a lawyer. And so this is what we do on a daily basis. And so I believe I can speak for all of us and say we feel no extra pressure. This is what we do. We're professional attorneys.
There was a confusion that you were getting paid by the county, or this was a non-profit type of thing.
No,
a lot of questions.
We are not getting paid.
You're not getting paid.
This is all volunteer.
Pro bono.
Yes.
Okay, please reiterate real quick what's going on, what happened today, real quick.
Say it one more time.
Can you reiterate what happened just today?
The grand jury considered the evidence and no indictment was returned on the death of Sandra Bland, as well as no indictment was returned for any of the staff at the Waller County Jail.
Are you going to reconvene when, sir?
Sometime next month.
Anything else, gentlemen?
I'm sorry you all waited all day for that, but we'll see you in
something.
January.
More than I expected.
Anything else?
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.